Hey everybody, it's George Wooden again from BW Limited Charity Fundraising, your charity fundraising one-stop shop in a convenient setting, North American charity fundraising leader in a one-stop shop setting. Check out our website, everybody with me, at www.bwunlimited.com. bwunlimited.com. Check it out. Okay, today we're going to talk about something that just might make you mad, but you know me, I'm the controversial, the reality of charity, fundraising guy, and you could go over and you can find videos from just about everybody with people with fancy backgrounds telling you exactly what you want to hear and making it seem so nice and so lovely. But the reality of a charity fundraising is extremely, extremely competitive. That's what they're not telling you. It's extremely, extremely competitive out there. 104 hours, I give this to everybody. 104 million charities in the United States. Most of them have chapters, up to about 150 million, with the sub-charities, which are like chapters. Then the benefit events. For instance, we're getting ready to do a benefit event for Luke Miller called Luke's Mega Minion Bash, and we're going to also do one for Viviana Vaughn called the Viz Boo Bash. Those are benefit events. You really can't track those, so there are about 50 million of those. Those are the ones where somebody's house burns down, somebody's sick, there's a storm, let's throw a benefit, let's throw a fundraiser. Those are called benefits. So you're up against about 200 million. The reality of charity fundraising is it is competitive, extremely competitive. And if you don't understand it, if you don't understand the negative side of things, and if you go out there with this big, bleeding heart, people aren't going to respond. The reality is this. Most fundraisers out there, or charities or groups or causes out there, strive. They kill themselves trying to fundraise. But they have to understand, you've got to understand the reality of it, the objective side of it. That's why this video is called Your Feet Are Too Close to the Charity Fire. Okay, the reason why is this. How do you know your feet are too close to the fire? I'm going to give you a perfect example. One of my clients, and I'm not going to name names, this person, this lady, she's a lady. I'll tell you, Tina Richardson from Protection for Paws. Tina, listen, I talk to this lady every day. She's one of the most lovely people I've ever met in my life. She loves her charity. She loves her cause so much. She often comes to tears. She cries because she loves it so much and she believes in what she's doing. She's out there buying hot and pop systems for police canines, all over across the country. She started a charity by herself, and now we're about ready to have the Mid-Atlantic Brothers in Blue Bash in Hagerstown Community College this coming fall. She is walking, talking mission. So when I'm talking to her and I'm telling her about the mission of the charity, and she starts to get upset because she just loves it so much, and she truly is the heart and soul of her charity, and she comes to tears and she gets upset. I tell her, Tina, listen, sweetie, you need to be walking, talking mission. You don't need to do what I'm doing, because the reality of what I'm doing it's a cruel world. Fundraising, successful fundraising, is very, very, very cruel. You have to understand that most of the people out there, they don't care. It's the truth. It sucks, but it's the truth. There's a lot of people out there who don't care. There are people who care about what you're doing, but the large majority of the people you want to attract are the ones who don't care. Now, you have to take an objective approach. Most of the time, the founders of a fundraiser, of a charity, are the mission. When I say walking, talking mission, they're the people that walk around tell people about what they're doing. Now, you have to understand what I was talking about before, 104 million charities, 150 million charities. With a competition of 200 million charities, most of the people out there pick what they want to do. Okay? They pick who they want to give to. Now, let's talk, and I'm gonna clearly talk. I'm gonna talk to Iris Folsom right now, and I'm also gonna talk to some of the people who are contemplating working with us rather. Let's say there's a charity, right? And you come out and you say, support us. Well, the problem is there's 200 million charities. Most people have already picked the charity that they love the best. For instance, right behind me is a deluxe heritage banner for the United States Marine Corps, and then there's police stuff next to me right here. So I was a police officer and I was a Marine, so I love veterans charities. I also love police law enforcement charities. It's a natural. So I will most likely do my best for everybody, but I like police and I like veterans charities. So if you're trying to get my attention and you're, let's say you're, I don't know, you're Save the Trees and you want to get my attention, I'm most likely going to see what you're doing and you're talking about the mission of the charity, and I'm going to shut you off because I like police and law enforcement and veterans charities. I also have a soft place in my heart for kids. So the issue is you've got to be objective. You're not going to convince me to leave my charities to come to yours. You're not going to do it, right? Because then the reality of things also too is, and you remember I keep saying reality. Reality of things is is this: people only have so much money to give. After that, they're not going to give anymore. So, how do you know when your feet are too close to the fire? When you can only think about your charity and you get upset that people aren't supporting you. The reality of it is you could be the best charity known to man, but if you don't understand and you don't take an objective approach to charity fundraising or what to attract people, how to market and everything else, you're actually going to hurt yourself. So by having somebody like myself or our crew, keep scratching my nose, Dina. Sister always says I'm scratching my nose. If you have somebody like us, we take an objective approach. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, and this is going to say something that sounds so mean. Everybody always says to me, George, did you read our website? Did you read our website? Did you see what we do? Did you watch our video? Did you do this? Did you do that? The reality of it is I don't. Because I have to take an objective approach. I have to think of the business end of this. Can you build a committee? How big of a committee can you build? What's the potential of your fundraiser? How many people are a part of your charity now? How many do you have a group? Do you have a fan page? Do you have this? Do you have that? Do you have the capability? And the reason why is I cannot get wrapped into the charity. I can't. And why can't I? Because I am there to raise you money. And if I get wrapped into the charity, I also become less subjective and I care about the charity. Now look, let me be honest. I get very wrapped up in a lot of these charities' missions, but I then have to shut that off because I do this so much. I have to shut that off and only care about the business end of this, the objective end is, and that is, can you build a committee? Do you have friends? Do you have family? Do you have this? Do you have that? We can build a committee and we can get people to come to a fundraiser. And then most people don't understand this. The reason why our events are so large and so highly successful year after year after year after year after year is because we create an event that is more about the event and less about the charity. Now I know that might upset you, but that's the truth. More about the event, less about the charity, because then people will come to the event. All the committee will attract your people to the event, and then we can also say, oh, by the way, it's for charity benefiting Shield 616 or Protection for Paws or Protecting Canine Heroes or Police Canine Association or Travis County Law Enforcement Association. So Sheriff's Law Enforcement Association. So the reality of it is this: if you are the founder or you are a major part of the charity, understand that your feet are close to the charity fire. You are all about the mission. However, you need somebody to stand outside of that who understands the business, the cruel end of this, the competition to raise you money. Now, the big misconceptions that you see out there are people say, oh, when people come to my event, they walk in and they put blinders on and there's a bunch of stuff laying around and they take their money and they throw their money up in the air, and wherever it lands, that's where they're going to spend money. That is not the truth. That is not the truth. Nobody buys retails for donations. There's a lot of charity myths out there. Nobody's paying a lot of money for a donated product. It's the truth. I don't care what you say. I don't care. You could be the best thing going. They do not come in and pay full retail. They don't do it. I've been doing this for 10 years, 1,400 times a year. They don't do it. I've never seen it. It never happens. In fact, I've got horror stories that just happened in Ohio where I saw a $10,000 item go for $600. It's not the reality of it. So you've got to take an objective approach. You've got to stay back. You have to, if you are walking, talking mission of the charity, call me because I will take an objective approach. People are all the same no matter where you go. There's a song about that, I believe, because now I've got it ringing in my ears. There's a song about that saying, people are the same wherever you go. So learn to live with each other, all that good stuff. So You have to have somebody who is objective, who's not going to get wrapped up in your mission, who understands what's the attractant. We have to put out an attractant. People don't like cheap. They like this. This is what they respond to. This, that, the other. You have to understand it. You have to also take an objective approach and not force your charity's mission down people's throats. Because no matter where you go today, somebody's asking you for money. Am I right? It's the truth. So again, this is the reality of charity fundraising. You, and you, over in the back, you and you can be walking, talking mission of the charity and understand it. And that's cool. That's great. In fact, I love it. But then it's also good to have somebody who is not walking, talking mission. Now, briefly, I want to touch on this. The reason why why we are so successful is this. Is a charity, people who work for a charity, who are founding or volunteers or whatever, however your involvement is, you live a full-time life with a full-time job, with full-time commitments and a full-time family. Am I right? So you can't give all your time to fundraising. How many times a year do you do a fundraiser? Once? Twice? We do it 1,400 times a year. I'm doing it all the time, constantly. You got to study the trends. You got to know the trends. So the difference is this: because there's people always thinking, well, should we hire this guy? Should we hire this company? We have to pay for them, whatever else. The difference is this: if you needed to raise a lot of money, or you were having a medical problem, let me give you, for instance, I have terrible knees. I don't go to Phil across the street and ask Phil what's the problem with my knees. No, I go to Dr. Kim. I've got high blood pressure from when I was a police officer. I go to Dr. Kim. I pay. I don't ask my buddy down the road. I don't ask my buddy Bill and say, hey, Bill, what should I do for my high blood pressure? Because he's going to say, goofball, you need to go to the doctor, right? If I'm having a medical, if I want to build something on my house, either I'll build it myself because I know how to build, or if I need to build a large structure, I'm going to go to a contractor. I'm not going to ask Johnny down the road, the mechanic who has no idea, and ask him to come out and build it, or get my son, who's a 21-year-old college student, to come out and build it. No. You get what you pay for. You're going through a divorce. You have a legal issue, whatever. You don't want some flunky, or you go on the internet and try it yourself and defend yourself. No, you're going to pay for a good attorney. So the difference between what you do as an unexperienced fundraiser and what we do are night and day. Night and day, truly. If you're happy making $20,000, so be it. Great, good for you, fantastic. Because you are, again, your feet are close to the charity fire. But if you want to make 100,000 or more, and you can ask every single one of my clients who we do events for, every single one of them, if you want to do this, you got to pay to play, because we are the dream team. We are the all-stars. We are the all-stars of charity fundraising. Every time we come up to bat, we're swinging for the fence. Truth be told, that's why we're the best. So remember, if your feet are very close to the charity fire, find somebody who's objective, who isn't so close to the mission. That person can take an objective view and looking on the outside looking in and figure out what you need to do to attract more people. Again, this is George Wooden from BW Unlimited Charity Fundraising, a North American charity fundraising leader in a one-stop shop setting. Check out our website at www.bwunlimited.com. See you next time.